It's so much trouble.
I told you, the game's over.
Are we there yet?
No.
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 Whenever I talk to anyone that has any kind of negative or error on their credit report, the first question they ask me is very similar to the question that my kids just asked me. But instead of saying, are we there yet? It's more like, is it off yet? But to answer that question, I need a bit more information. Like which credit report, Equifax or TransUnion? What credit account or judgment are we talking about? And what province do you live in? Because each one will affect my answer a little bit differently. So in this video, I'm going to go through just kind of how that all works, what affects what, and how long it should be on there, and then you'll be able to answer that question yourself. All right, so we'll be going through both Equifax and TransUnion, and then across the top you'll see the different provinces highlighted, and then on the left-hand side, the different categories that we'll be covering. First one, credit transactions. That really outlines any credit account, or as they name it here, trades. Any kind of line of credit, credit card, cell phone, loan, any of those things, what they're looking for is the date of last activity, or it's going to stay on your credit report for 6 years from the date of last activity. As far as the last date, that is when you have made a purchase or a transaction of any kind. It's going to be 6 years from that date that it stays on, good or bad. Now with TransUnion, it's still 6 years across the board, but TransUnion does something a little different where they will keep it 6 years from the date of last delinquency, which just means missed payment. Then we get into the inquiries, which is also known as a hard hit. These are when people or companies, will be looking at you when you're applying for new credit, and it is 3 years with Equifax and 6 years for TransUnion. So judgments and collections, these are different, but as far as how long they stay on your credit report, they're the exact same. A judgment is when you owe money and it goes through the court system. A collection is when you owe money and that company then hires out a collection company to come after you for whatever you owe. Now for both, it is from the date that they reported that on your credit report that it will stay on your credit report. So the date of last activity is what matters most to Equifax. Now with TransUnion, it's different because they go from the date it was satisfied. Credit counseling is just one of the debt management programs that are out there, and after you have completed and made your last payment in the program, then it's 2 years from that. So if you had 4 or 5 different credit accounts in that credit counseling program or debt management program, what would happen is when you're completed that, then 2 years after that, it would come off your credit report, and all of the accounts that were included in that program can now be removed as well. Many will tell you that a bankruptcy will stay on your credit report for 7 years. That is only true on your TransUnion credit report and in select provinces. Everywhere else, it's 6 years for both Equifax and TransUnion. And that is from the date that you're complete or your discharge date. Now, a consumer proposal, orderly payment of debts, also known as OPD, these are different debt management programs, and there's different pros and cons to each of them. But as far as how long they stay on your credit report, they're the exact same. And it's always from the date that they're paid or satisfied. Hopefully that answers your question about how long it will take for that negative to be removed from the credit report. If there's something I missed or still confused, or let's say something that should be off is on there still, then definitely reach out through any one of our social media channels and I can answer it there, or you can always check out one of our monthly webinars and I can answer your questions right then and there.
Whoa.